Hey, what's up? I'm multi-platinum producer Tizone, and this is the Hitlanders Podcast, Episode 3. A lot of times people use the term I know hits, but have no idea what a hit record is. These are who I call the gatekeepers. Let's talk about it. Nowadays, we have people in position that knows nothing about the music industry and what a hit record is. Most producers are relying on these gatekeepers to place music with major artists, but the artists never actually hear the music because the gatekeepers are the ones that's picking and choosing what's hot or not. Here's an example of a situation I was in. Back in the 90s, I was touring as a DJ for a rap group, and we were in Atlanta for an event. I always would travel with beat tapes just in case I ran across somebody who needed beats. So we were walking out the hotel and there was Jay-Z sitting out front. My first thought was, I got this beat tape and I need him to listen to it. So I told the guy I was connected with that Jay-Z was sitting out front and I wanted to give him my beat tape. He started to rant about how my beats was subpar and my beats wasn't ready to be heard by the world. He said I needed a lot of work and I shouldn't pass Jay-Z my beat tape. My heart dropped and I was disappointed and felt like a major opportunity was being passed on. My gut feeling was telling me, go ahead and take the chance anyway, but I didn't want to come off like I wasn't loyal. So we came back from the van and Jay-Z was still sitting there talking on the phone, and I sat down not far from him. When he finished his call, I spoke and he spoke back, and I was debating if I should tell him about my beat tape. I started to tell him how I liked the single with him and Foxy Brown and Jazzo. He said thanks and walked away. I knew the opportunity was walking away as well. Every time I would go in my bag and see a beat tape, I would think about the situation. That entire weekend was haunting me. When I would think about it, I really didn't have anything to lose. Either he was going to like the beats or not, but at least I took a shot at it. The saying, we miss 100% of the shots we don't take comes to mind as I'm telling this story. In the back of my mind, I always wonder, what if he liked one or two of the beats? What if I got signed to The Rock? I took it as a huge learning lesson and never let anyone tell me what I could and couldn't do and what I wasn't ready for. Now, I'm not saying that we don't have those special people that have an ear for great music and can spot talent from a mile away. It's just very few of them that exist in today's music industry. It's a lot of great music going unheard because the gatekeepers can't hear the potential in it. That's why it's extremely important to believe in yourself and follow your gut feeling. Some gatekeepers are acting as mentors, but there is a huge difference between the two. Mentors usually have experience and proof of concept, while most gatekeepers doesn't. Some record labels are gatekeepers as well, keeping artists from releasing music because they feel the music won't work. Most labels know what has worked, but they doesn't know what will work. So they play the safe route and they release music that's similar to what's trending. This is the reason that you hear so many artists sounding the same. You'll see an indie artist get their own buzz and build a fan base and get a record deal, and then the label tell them what they're making isn't a hit record. So if the fans love the music, who are the gatekeepers to try to keep it from them and dictate what's a hit record? That's why you got to know who the gatekeepers are. The biggest trend now is people doing listening and critique sessions and music reviews. But the issue is the people that's doing the reviews and critiquing the music never had a hit record themselves. So they're selling this dream to the artists that they can get this music to the people, that they're seeing on TV, and they haven't had a hit record themselves. How is it that you can tell another artist that their record is not a hit when you never had a hit record yourself and you're not attached to a hit record? So a lot of artists are being detoured from actually getting their music into their fan base and getting to the right people, because you have all these gatekeepers telling them this is a hit, this is not a hit, and everybody's just going around in a circle. I suggest that artists learn to find their fan base and their demographic, and they will know if their fan base actually likes the record, because ultimately it really depends on if the people like the record and not the gatekeepers, because the gatekeepers can be wrong, which they were wrong several times. Even, in my situation, people told me, oh, this record is not good. That record is not good. And those are the records that actually got me a record deal. And now I'm looking at multi-platinum plaques on my wall. You have to be confident and stand firm on what you believe in. When I was doing my bass tone crew, I had this artist, that I really believed in. And this one gatekeeper would tell me, I don't know why you working with this guy. He'll never get a record deal. So I would ask him, why do you feel like this guy will never get a record deal? And everything that he said was based on his personal opinion. Well, I feel this, I feel that. But he could never tell me a really good reason, why this artist wouldn't get a record deal. So I kept pushing the artist and kept pushing, and he got better and better and better. And he really learned how to craft a song. So his creative process went to another level. So everybody was like, well, I still don't see it. And he was the one that actually got the record deal because he believed in himself and I believed in him, and we pushed and we pushed and we pushed. We stood firm on what we believed in, regardless of if people said, oh, he wasn't the best artist, he wasn't this, he wasn't that. As long as I believed in him and he believed in himself, that's all that matters. So we kept pushing and we kept pushing. And after we got the major record deal, that same person came back and said, how did you do it? I couldn't see it. But it wasn't for everybody to see. Everybody won't be able to see your success. Everybody can't see your talent. So it's up to you to find your fan base and the people that's going to believe in what you do. Because it only takes one. You're looking for that one opportunity to break out. I really think if a lot of these gatekeepers start listening to music with their ears and not their ego, they will really find a lot of diamonds in the rough. You just have to polish those diamonds. So it's so much talent out here, but people don't get a chance because you have people telling them what they can't do, and they just can't see how to take something to the next level, because the first thing people do is try to find something negative and tell you what you're not, instead of telling you the good qualities that you have and building on those. So think about it. Can somebody that never had a hit record tell you that you don't have a hit record? So I say to all artists out there, be careful who you have reviewing your music, dictating what's hot, what's not, if this beat will work for this artist, if that beat is going to work for that artist, this rapper, that singer. Just be careful and believe in the material that you're creating. That's the best advice I can give. Thanks for listening to the Hitlanders Podcast, and I'll be dropping more gems soon. If you enjoyed this podcast, please support by leaving a review and a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts. Your support is greatly appreciated.